Tolkien once wrote that if Gandalf took the One Ring, he would become a Dark Lord far worse than Sauron. What if I told you that Gandalf already had an evil plan to take over everyone, and you never even noticed it? Gandalf's plans are simple. In fact, you already know them. He simply does exactly what you see him do in the books and movies. He notices that a great evil is rising in the east and reasons that he can use this to drum up fear and install puppet leaders loyal to him. Gandalf is supposedly a trusted source of wisdom, even though he clearly has no idea how to brush his hair and wears ugly gray rags. At the beginning, it seems like he has a few noticeable personality traits. Number 1, he loves weed. In fact, his best friend Radagast is a known drug addict. Number 2, he loves incredibly dangerous fireworks that almost kill literally the entire population of hobbits. Number 3, he gets freakishly angry and abuses lesser life forms. After he freaks out at Bilbo and forces him to leave, Gandalf creepily stays in his house for no reason and then repeatedly breaks into Frodo's house to freak out about the One Ring. But anyways, for some reason, he decides to send Frodo and his obese gardener on an obviously hopeless quest that's going to get them killed. He then immediately ditches Frodo again for no reason, goes to his much smarter friend Saruman, who's like, "Dude, we have no chance against this obviously way more powerful foe. We should surrender and hope for the best." This makes Gandalf angry because he wants everyone to die in a pointless war. See, here's the thing. It's a common misconception that Sauron wants to kill everyone. Tolkien states in no uncertain terms that Sauron wants to do nothing of the sort and is instead obsessed with a perverted sense of order. In other words, he wants to rule over them. The only way this ends with all of them dying is if they keep on fighting. I'm not saying Sauron's rule would be good or anything, but surely it's better than dying in a war where there's no hope of winning. Usually, it's considered to be pretty good leadership to surrender when a battle is clearly lost in order to protect your country. This is what basically everyone in Middle-earth wanted to do, other than the elves who were a weird cult who all wanted to sail away and die or something. Anyways, Gandalf takes his little gang and then he dies, and then comes back eviler than ever. His first move is to go to Rohan, lie to them, beat up everyone in their main hall, and then take over their king's mind. Gandalf claims that this is because Saruman is controlling Theoden's mind. Obviously, this is a ludicrous lie. Theoden was getting old and weak, but there's no evidence that wizards can just control people's minds from a distance with magic power. This has never happened before, ever. And if it could happen, then surely Sauron, a much stronger being, would have just been doing that. Let me ask you, who is controlling Theoden? Saruman, the guy who has not been near the kingdom for a few years? Or Gandalf, the guy who beats up all of Theoden's men, disrobes, and then waves his staff in front of Theoden and aggressively attacks him? Anyways, after Gandalf attacks Theoden, Theoden's personality is clearly 100% different, and he is suspiciously much more handsome. Saruman then tries to invade Rohan. His reasons for this are never clearly stated, but presumably it's because Gandalf, a crazy person, had just taken over their government and wanted to liberate them. Aragorn, Gandalf's puppet, immediately starts acting like he's in charge for no reason, which offends everyone. Afterwards, he goes to Gondor and is like, "You're not the real leader, this guy Aragorn is." And Denethor is like, "Sorry bro, the king has been dead for like 500 years, and this Aragorn guy has never lived here. We're not about to just start following him." After this, Gandalf leaves and goes on an insane pseudoscientific rant about how Denethor is a bad leader because he has lesser blood, whatever that means. And then Denethor is like, "Alright everybody, enjoy your final moments with your family." And Gandalf is like, "No, I want everyone to die horribly instead in this pointless war." So, Gandalf beats up Denethor with a staff and takes control of Gondor, the largest kingdom of men in the free world. And with that, his coup is complete. Gandalf does some things, totally loses just like everyone told him would happen. Then Gandalf realizes this and decides to go murder Denethor by kicking him into a fire and burning him to death, all while giving some smug speech about the tragedy of it all.
Surpasses Denethor, son of Ecthelion.
Afterwards, Gandalf's butt is saved by some ghosts, totally outside of anything he could predict. They send the ghost away, and Aragorn is crowned king. Aragorn's first ruling as the new king is that he will completely listen to Gandalf and do everything he says. suspicious. Theoden is dead, which is a bit of a problem for Gandalf, but Éowyn and Faramir are pretty loyal to him. Since Rohan is a patriarchal society, it seems like Faramir will likely rule, since Faramir is essentially a Gondor noble. Basically, Gandalf rules Rohan and Gondor. Gandalf's wildly improbable plan that even he admitted was stupid succeeds somehow. And just like that, Gandalf successfully uses Sauron's war to take over Middle-earth. Aragorn is his puppet and rules over men. He installed his own puppet regiment under the Lonely Mountain during The Hobbit. After the ousting of Saruman, he is the leader of the White Council, a shadowy Illuminati-esque council of the elves' highest kings and queens. And he sends loyal hobbits back to the Shire, and they subsequently take over. Tolkien once said that if Gandalf took the ring, his rule would be imperceptible. Well, could you tell?